Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy Sebastian Ryder, and you tapped into a very special episode of Cut Different TV. We got somebody from Cleveland, Ohio in the building, which is interesting. We don't really see Cleveland too much. Before I introduce you to our guest today, make sure you hit that big red button that says subscribe under whatever screen you watching this on. But let's just cut straight to it, man. We got Paige in the building.
Yo.
What's happening with you?
I am good. I have been on this crazy run in New York, and I'm feeling it, but I'm ready to go, and I just been having a great time.
It's a vibe, man. EP on the way. Great energy. Pisces energy in the building.
Very much
Green hair in the building. We got a whole vibe going on. Let's just start from the beginning. You know, you New York isn't somewhere that you're foreign to, you know what I'm saying? You were born here, you lived here for a little bit.
Yeah, I was born here. I remember going to like Catholic school, definitely walking, taking the train a lot, taking the bus a lot. And then when I was around like 5, 7 years old, we moved to Cleveland because of the 2008 surge. So we actually moved back. I stayed with my grandma for a little bit, and then we, got on our feet and stuff. But that's where my parents are from. So, we just got grounded, and I really grew up there. That's where I really spent most of my time at.
Word. I rock with it. And so then you go to Cleveland, which when you hear Cleveland, people think Cleveland Cavaliers, LeBron James.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? But
very much so.
Type shit.
Let's
King
go.
James. I believe LeBron's the GOAT. Do you?
Absolutely.
Okay, bet. You got to, though. It'd be crazy if you didn't. But then Cleveland, people don't really know Cleveland for music, right?
I mean, we got like MGK, we got Trippy, Kid Cudi's from there too.
Oh,
so,
shit, I ain't know that.
Yeah,
Shout out Cudi.
We got a few people.
Word. So you grow up there, you know what I'm saying, and you do the choir, and then you're also doing a little bit of theater as well.
Yeah.
Tell us about life in Cleveland.
Sure. So I grew up in the church. When we moved there, my dad actually started working for the church. So I was there every day. I'm talking Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. From Bible study to just being there because my dad is there, and church on Sunday. We got 3 services. I'm singing in a choir. We got to go to choir practice. So I spent a lot of my time in church, and then I also did Cleveland Heights Youth Theater, which wasn't too far from the church. I was a little shy back then, but I could really sing, and I was comfortable singing. But like giving me some lines on stage, I would like freeze up, and I'd be like, what do I do? So I actually did more like backstage stuff. So I would stage manage, or I would do like the spotlight or sound and stuff like that. So I'd be directing people like, hey, this is your cue, time for you to go on. And then I'd have a solo. So I'd have to take my headset off, run on the stage, do my solo, get back off stage, and continue directing people. I even did some costume designing too. So I really played in like the background of things rather than like really acting because I was a little shy, but I could sing and I was comfortable singing. So that's really kind of, I just really fell in love with just acting and music, being around musicals. I did The Music Man. I did Little Mermaid, I did West Side Story. So I just loved musicals growing up too, just watching Annie, Bye Bye Birdie.
You had the broom and shit.
I would be on the floor with the little cleaning the floor, singing and everything. And, from then my parents just always knew like she's gonna be in the industry somehow, some way, So
Facts.
Yeah, just since I was a kid, I just really loved music and acting and everything that comes with it.
Yeah, and then so you graduate high school, and then you leave what?
Before I graduated high school, we moved all the way across the country to Texas.
Oh shit! What part?
We lived in a small town called Victoria.
Okay.
It's like an hour and a half, 2 hours outside of Houston, and I actually graduated from Victoria East High School.
Ooh.
We literally moved my senior year. I literally had like 6 months of school left. And I graduated from there, and I then went to college for a little bit, and COVID hit. Okay. So we ended up all leaving, and I remember what really sparked me going into music was me and my friends were in our dorm, and we were doing karaoke, and I was singing, and they were like, Autumn,
you nice.
You can sing. And I was like, low-key, I can. So I ended up going up to my dorm and just like writing a song, and I was like, I'm gonna do this. So I ended up messing with Rap-A-Lot, and I went out there and just like recorded my first song, and was really trying to get into it, but then I got a little lost. I was out there bottle girling and making all this money, and I ended up working at Onyx as a bottle girl, And the governor ended up making a law that was like in effect the next day that you couldn't be under 21 working at a strip club. So I lost my job like that.
Damn.
And I was like, what am I going to do? And then I just was like, I had Tyler Perry on. It was a sermon that he was talking about. And he was like, what is your purpose? And I was like, what is my purpose? I'm like, I came here to do music and I didn't even end up doing music. So I was just like sitting there thinking and praying. And I'm just like, man, I'm going to go to LA. And I had probably like $500. My lease was about to be up. I paid the moving trucks and everything to move all my stuff to my parents' house. I had like $70 left. I had my ticket booked to LA, and I had a friend out here, and I was like, I'm gonna do it. Went out there, I had $70 in my pocket, and you know it was hard at first because I thought I could come out here and bottle girl. I didn't know you had to be 21 to just bottle girl at regular clubs out here. And I want to say 20 at the time. Maybe I was not. I think I was 20 at the time. And so it was just really hard for me to find a job, especially.
You talking about, sorry to cut you, you talking about Bottle Girl in L.A.?
In L.A.
Okay,
it's not the same.
Because you said out here and we in Brooklyn.
Yeah, L.A.
So I was
Bottle Girl in L.A. You're right.
Yeah.
Bottle Girl in L.A.
I was just making sure.
It was not the same as Houston. Houston is just like very lively. You know, you can go out there and have a really good time, and you could be 18 working at just regular clubs doing Bottle Girl stuff. So I didn't know in L.A. it was just different. And so it was really hard for me to figure it out at first. And I met my manager, Reggie. He had DM'd me on Instagram. He was like, yo, I want to hear some music. I want to see what you've been working on. So I go to the studio with him. I play stuff. And he's like, yo, I want to manage you. I'm like, okay, I need to get my money right. I'm going to come back. It was October. I was like, I will be back in January. And so I go back to Houston. I was back January 5th of 2022. I was back January 5th of 2022, and I had my own place. I had a job set up before I came out there, and I was ready. I was ready to get to it. And from there, I just have been getting to it. I came out there, I was DMing every producer I could find. I'd be on celebrities' pages looking at who they're following. Who are you following? Who is this? Who's your manager? Who's doing that? Who's doing this? And I just reached out to everybody I could, and I was going to every session I could and just building my catalog up. And I had reached out to this producer named Emil. And at first, he was like, nah, fam, I'm busy. I ain't got time for that. I ain't. So I just stayed consistent. And I was posting my content and doing what I needed to do. And he hit me like 2 years later, and he was like, yo, that song you just posted is fire. Like, let's get in the studio. Let me meet you. Let me see who you are. I want to know who you are. So we had met at his studio, and he just was asking me, you know, who are you? Where are you from? Why are you doing music? Why are you doing this? And from there, he was like, look, I want to do music with you, but I have like an hour a day. If I call you, will you come to the studio and work? I'm like, yeah. I'm working 9 to 5 at the time. So I'm like, I don't care. I ain't going to go to work. I'm going to come to the studio. So he would call me, and we would have an hour. And I remember coming in, and the first song we ever wrote was Baggage.
Damn.
And it took us probably an hour.
And this was what, 5 years ago? No,
not at all. Probably 1 year ago.
Oh, shit. Okay.
A year ago.
Oh, so this is the story you telling. This is like over a few years. You
Yes.
trying to really find your footing and shit.
Yes, exactly.
Wow. Okay, bet. Damn. So you link up, you do Baggage.
Yep.
And then I want to backtrack a little bit because everybody watching this right now, like the story of kind of the perseverance, right?
Yes.
Seeing a sermon, finding a message, you know what I'm saying? And then taking that leap, right?
Yep,
like I think
exactly.
Steve Harvey talks about that. Like a lot of people talk about taking that jump.
Absolutely.
You know? To any artists that are kind of in a space of, you know, they love making music, but they're still doing this and they still got this going on. They fear judgment a little bit. Like, what advice would you give them? You feel me? Just wanted to take a quick second to shout out one of our partners, Upstream.io. If you're looking for a tool or a platform that allows you to streamline your customer relationship management, no matter what business you're in, whether you want to manage leads, you want to manage clients that you already have, if you want to have a website that allows you to streamline all of your offerings and showcase who you are as a brand or business, look no further. And if you're looking to streamline all of your content scheduling and you don't want to use 5, 6 different platforms to make sure that you're getting content out on time, look no further. Upstream.io, and it's certified cut different. Now back to the interview.
Just keep going, man. Like at the end of the day, I definitely had times where I just want to throw in the towel and give up. There was a time where I had booked a flight back home. I my lease was up. I didn't have no money to continue paying my rent. I was like, I don't know what I had a job. I was working at a hair store. Shout out Superstar Hair and Wigs. And I just wasn't making enough to pay rent. Like LA is very expensive, and I made enough to like take care of myself. I literally was taking the bus to work. Like that's where I was at in life. And people don't take the bus in LA, okay? You're judged if you take the bus in LA.
Damn.
And so I remember I would take the 140 on Ventura. And I just was like, I can't do this. I gotta figure it out. I gotta figure myself out again. And the day before my flight, I got booked for On Call, which is Dick Wolf's new cop show on Amazon Prime, and it was for a guest star role. So it's a pretty big role, especially for my first role. It was my first role ever, and I was like, I can't go home. So I called my friend up, my friend Alex, and I was like, Yo, can I come stay on your couch? And he was like, I got you. I was there for about a month. I did the show. I shot it while I was. People don't know this. I'm shooting this show while I'm staying on somebody's couch. You know what I mean? Like, it all looks good. But, like, at the end of the day, you got to do what you got to do to get there. And it might be ugly, and it's okay. But it's all about your story. Like, if you don't have a story, like, what good is it to tell somebody you can do it? If it didn't take much. You know what I mean? Like, it take work to get to where I am now. And it took a lot of work, and I'm proud of myself, you know. Like, it just took a lot. And after that, after that month, I found my own place in Burbank, and that's when I met Emil.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's fire, yo. That's perseverance. And I mean, we could talk about your journey. We could talk about your story, and you're gonna do a million interviews, and everybody gonna ask you. I want to get into the EP. You know what I'm saying? Because you talk about the importance of having a story, and I feel like on this EP, you're telling a story,
Yeah.
right? And it starts with the title. So talk about the inspiration of the title, and talk about the importance of storytelling to you.
For sure. So the title of the EP is Down the Rabbit Hole, and these songs that we put together, they weren't made to be together. We made these songs, like I said, I was in the studio with Emil when he would call me up. So we would just create and we would just make records. And so I remember Emil told me that there was this label who wanted to meet me. And Allison Ball had came in, and she just was so energized. Allison, she's just a great person. And she was like, I love Topless. I love everything you're doing. I want to sign you. And like I had been meeting with other labels and stuff, but like they always want to change you. Like the majors always want, hey, we like what you got. We love what you got. We want to come meet you. We want to hear your music, but you should meet with our producers. You should change your sound this way. You should change your image this way. And like I was like, the opportunity is cool and all, but like I don't want to change who I am. Like the whole reason you're meeting me is because of who I am. So why would I change that? So I met Allison, and she was like, I love it. I love it. I want to put it out. And so they were going through all the songs, and we were going through all the songs. And so we all picked these 6 songs. And, I had to then put them in an order that made sense. And I was like, okay, Topless. Topless is about not only being wanted for one thing. And a lot of times, men too, they're only wanted for that sexy time. You know what I mean? And that sexy time is cool and all, but it gets to a point where you're like, damn, if I got into a car accident, can I even call this person?
Yeah, that shit sucks being objectified sexually, you know?
Like if
Shit
I get
crazy.
hurt, if anything happens, if I can't pay my bills, can I call this person? And half the time the answer is no. And so at that point I said to myself, I can't keep giving myself to people that won't even be there for me when I need them. Or even answer the phone if I call them. And so really that's how that song came about. And then there was Baggage. And I had recently met my partner at the time, and like he was just loving me the right way, you know. And I hadn't been loved the right way for a while since I had been in LA, because dating in LA is crazy.
Mm.
It is crazy. It is crazy. And so I was like, okay, now I gotta let everybody go. Like
All the
all my
skeletons.
favorite sexy times, I gotta let go. I gotta let go.
You gotta clean the
You know,
closet out.
I gotta clean it out, as
Facts.
well as just trauma.
Mm.
Trauma from past relationships, trauma from things that have happened while in these talking stages of people. You know what I mean? And so I was talking to my producer about it, and it was just like having a therapy session. You know what I mean? And like he was just telling me, because he's married, and he was like, I had to do the same thing when I married my wife. And we just really bonded over having this conversation, and that's really where baggage came from.
Mm.
And you know, we kept putting them together, and then I was like, okay, well, we got this song rotation. How am I gonna make this make sense in this EP? I've
Type
already
shit.
talked about not being wanted for this. I've already talked about throwing this away for this person. But sometimes there's been times where I've thrown the baggage away and the person mess up.
Mm. So now
And
it's
then I
back
go
to the
back to
street.
that old toxicness of me messing with all these people, giving myself away. And I was like, you know what? Rotation makes so much sense after baggage, because sometimes it happens. Sometimes you throw that baggage away and then you go back to your old ways.
Mm.
And, you know, again, the title Down the Rabbit Hole, just what happens when you go down the rabbit hole. Like you fall in love, then you make these stupid decisions, and then you end up here, and then you fall back in love. And that's where One For You comes from, because it's just like when you meet that person and you're in that, you know, honeymoon stage, and like, you know, it just feels so good to be in love and like falling in love. And, you know, that's where it came from. And then you have Room in Vegas, which continues to just talk about, you know, those fun times that you have when you're in love. And then you got Good in Me. And Good in Me is just about when you're messing with somebody who is probably good for you, but all your friends are like, man, why are you messing with this person? Like, you know, especially as a woman, there's so much pressure of being with somebody who can take care of things, take care of your bills, take care of paying for your hair, your nails, your everything. And like, sometimes I don't think it even has to do with that when you're dating. You
Mm.
know what I mean? Like, it's cool and all to have that, but like sometimes you mess with people who do that for you and they really don't care about you.
Facts.
And so for me, like, Good in Me was just about being with somebody who maybe your friends or your family doesn't approve of, but you're still gonna be with them anyways
Mm. Cause they good for you.
because they're good for me.
All right, the room in Vegas is a fire ass right. I like Topless a lot. I like Baggage.
Hmm.
Room in Vegas to me is just very like I don't know. It's sexy.
It
You know what
is,
I'm
you
saying?
know, because it's sexy time. You
It's
know, we in Vegas, we having a good time, and it's sexy.
yeah. I fuck with the Raiders too. So you know, being out in Vegas and you
Yeah,
feel me, it just kind of pieces two and two together. You dig?
yeah.
But I really love it, and the project is fire, and I'm excited for y'all to hear it. And it's out now. When this interview drops, the EP's out.
Yes, so go
So
listen to it, please.
absolutely, I rock with it. And man, I mean, I think we Vic, we had cut different TV. Yo, what's going on? It's your boy Sebastian Ryder. Really appreciate y'all tuning into today's interview. Just wanted to take a quick second to shout out one of our partners, CapCut. If you're looking for a platform that's going to be easy to use and that's going to allow you to take long form content and chop it up into bite-sized clips, look no further than CapCut. It's truly got everything that you need to take a simple piece of content and make it exciting, more engaging, and drive more eyes to your brand or business. I hope that you gain as much value out of this platform as we do at Cut Different TV. Back to the interview. I don't know. I mean, everybody that comes up here, we like to ask them, one question. We learn a lot about you. Obviously, storytelling is important.
Hmm.
You got some very strong principles and foundations, obviously. But what we really want to know, Autumn, is what makes you cut different, bro?
Honestly, authenticity, man. A lot of these artists that I have just come across, like, they're not authentic. They're trying to be what the labels want, or they're trying to be up to the standards of what's on Billboard Top 10 or what's playing all the time. And it's just like, it's not authentic. You're trying to outdo somebody else for what they're doing.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So for me, I'm authentically me. My green hair is all me. I have my own story for the green hair. I know other people have green hair. And I don't care. You get what I'm saying? You got green hair for whatever reason you got. I got green hair for whatever reason I got. And so I'm just authentically me. I've always dressed like this. If you ask people in high school that I've been with, I've always been like this and I've never changed. And that's something I always tell myself, don't ever change. because you're who you are, and I think everybody should be who they are.
Mm. Cut. Fire. Nah, I rock with that. And you mentioned the green hair. You feel me? You know, people know the grass is greener. You know all that extra shit. But
Yeah,
that's not why you made your hair green.
it's
Why?
not.
Why did you? What? Why the green hair? You know, and then you got the green on the body. You got the green nail. Well, you got the watermelon nails.
So I used to date this guy,
Mm,
and he's pretty well known. He's a celebrity, as you say. And his thing had to do with an object that was green. And he used to play with me so much. He asked me to be exclusive with him and then disappear for like a month and then come back and be like, oh, sorry, I'm
mm,
back. Help him move into his new crib, disappear for another month. And like, it would just be like, we do all of these things together that was like very intimate. You know what I mean? That's not just for everybody. And so he used to play with me, and I started doing green hair when I was with him because I was like, I want you to know that I'm doing green hair because I'm with you. And when I blow up, you lost a good one.
mm. Damn,
So that's why I have green hair. And I've rocked with it for going on 3, 4 years now.
I rock with it. And it's definitely a pop. You feel me? Do you think you'll ever change it?
I mean, maybe when I'm old, but I like the green hair.
It's sturdy.
I think it's me. And, it has a story behind it.
Facts. I rock with it. And is it how often do you have to like dye it to keep that like that really I mean that's like really green. Like
It
how
is.
often
It
do you have to
is.
mess with it?
Probably like every 3 weeks, I probably
Okay.
dye. It's like a semi-permanent dye, so like it's not damaging to my hair. You know what
That's
I
good.
mean? So, I just throw it in there. I even have a conditioner that like is green that you put on your hair so that it continues the color. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I gotta ask too, back on the music a little bit. Like you hear a record like Baggage, where it's
Hmm.
like you're glad that you finally met somebody that you can, put the walls down with and be
Yeah.
more of a, be super feminine in that relationship.
Hmm.
And then you talk about rotation, and you talking about like, kind of the girls as players too type vibe, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So if that's the energy that you on when you single, and then when you let the baggage down in the relationship, who are you in a relationship? Like, are you, what kind of role do you play romantically?
Romantically, again, you got to be the right man because I definitely have some masculine energy. But when you're the right man, I'm very submissive. I'm very much so. I'm a Pisces. I'm a crybaby. I am loving. I am a gift giver. You know what I mean? Like, I always want my person to be the happiest that they can be and feel as loved as they can be. You know
Mm,
what I mean? So just doing small things that can really make them happy. Like knowing their love languages is like a huge thing for me to know, hey, okay, you like it when I do the dishes. You like it when I clean the house and you come home to a clean home. I'm going to make sure that that happens when you come home. You like when I do the laundry. I'm going to do the laundry. You know what I mean? So I'm definitely I'm a lover girl and always will be, but got to be for the right man.
I rock with it. It sounds like you got them. That's
I
good.
do, I do have
That's amazing. And I
them.
got two more questions for you. So first, these are like kind of dope questions. I think they kind of dope. So the first one is on, if you could point out you on stage, you performing, boom, you got thousands of people in front of you, but there's always that one fan that you kind of connect with, lock
Hmm.
eyes with, right? How would you describe an Autumn Page fan? Like if you were walking down the street and they're like,
Hmm.
"Oh, I'm your biggest fan." Some of them they just saying that.
Right.
But
Yeah.
how you
Yeah.
know it's not cap? Like what do you look for? Like what is your fan base like?
It's so funny because like I have to say one of my best friends is like my biggest fan and she has always been. And the way she talks about me, the way she approaches me, like you can just tell when somebody's a fan because she'll be like, "Do y'all know who this is? This is Autumn Page."
Mm,
And like she's my friend, like we hang
she gonna
out, but
ride for
like
you.
you know what I mean. But she really ride for me. Or like I just had my first performance ever at an LA Fashion Week show, and there was this guy who I was sitting next to before I went on, and he just like before I even went up, he was like, "Oh my gosh, girl, your outfit! Oh my gosh, your hair! Oh my gosh, your nails! Oh my gosh, who are you?" You know what I mean? Like somebody who's really interested in me. I know that you're a fan, and when I was performing, he was like the biggest one, like, "Yes, you go!" Like, "Oh my gosh!" And so like he was definitely somebody that I was like, "You're a fan, and I mess with you."
Mm, word. And this is actually a perfect segue. So you got fans. You got people that love your music, people that support you, no matter how close they are to you, and that's fire.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because a lot of times people will be close to you and they'll be like, like that's regular, like that's my people's.
Hmm.
Having fans, having people that listen to you, come see you perform, is that what you feel like success is, or how do you define success as an artist?
For me, success as an artist would be impacting people. Like I always kind of want to say like Michael Jackson impacted people. He really changed people's lives. People cry when they see him. I don't want people to cry when they see me, but I want people to know like I love my fans. Like I am here because I want you to win. I'm doing this because I want you to know that you can do this, whatever it is. If you want to be a doctor, a lawyer, whatever it is, you can do it. And I want you to know that you can do it because I showed you that I went through everything I needed to get here. And when I was little, like in high school and stuff, I always like so profound by like the speakers that would come to the school, or
Mm.
like sometimes they have musicians come and perform, and I always was like in high school, I'm gonna come back to this high school, and I'm gonna be one of those speakers.
Hell yeah. And you well on your way.
Absolutely, I'm
That's
excited
fire.
for it.
Well, shit, we appreciate you coming to sit
Thank
with
you
us
for
at Cut
having me.
Different TV. And we in Brooklyn, we making noise, but LA pretty smooth. Cleveland smooth. I mean, I don't really know too many people from Cleveland, but I know one now. And she fine. So Cleveland good with me. Is there anything that you want to say to your fans that are watching this, but also like people that are seeing you for the first time? Is there anything that you want to leave them with?
Absolutely, never give up. Always follow your dreams and stay true to yourself.
Easy enough. Man, I go by the name of Sebastian Ryder. You just tuned into another episode of Cut Different TV, and we here with the one and only
Go stream my new EP.
Autumn Page. We
Autumn
we here
Page.
with the one and only.
Autumn Page.
And
And go stream my new EP, Down the Rabbit Hole.